Oh, camera recording again. Sorry, folks. I thought that was a pause button, but it's not a pause button. That is the stop button. I'm going to have to edit that shit in. All right. So what we're going to do now is we dried while I was gone, and while I was gone, made a fresh coffee, and did a toke or two, or three, or four, and that's all your preference. You know, you can be a joint person, you can be a pipe person, you can be a bong person. You know, like, I'm just weed. Weed, that's it. You know, no shatter, no, things like that. Yeah, I just weed. The occasional edible. Like gummy or, a brownie or a cookie or chocolate bar. What's really good? Hot chocolate. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to chalk in my bird. And what I have some blue chalk. And I got this chalk. Here, let me show you. I got this chalk. It's just a regular little pack of chalk that I got from Michael's. And it has 24 pieces. I'm just going to draw my bird in. And what you want to do is, he is sitting on the branch right here. So what you want to do is you want to draw like an oval. Kind of like an oval. Right here. Kind of like an oval. And then down past that is his square tail. His little rectangular tail. And then he has kind of like an oval head, but he's got a peak on it. It's something like alien. Something like alien. Yeah. And then he's got a little beak. Okay, I'm going to show you that up close. Can you see that? I'm not a drawer. I'm hoping that... Oh, wait, we forgot his wing. We forgot his wing. His wing comes out and around. Like just a little bit, not a lot. Make him a little bit chubbier in the front there. All right. Cat. I got a cat, a Bengal cat. A Bengal. If anybody has a Bengal, they understand the grief that I go through on a daily basis with this cat. Get going, Cat. His name is Cat. I call him Cat. You don't need no name. He came with a name. He came with Diego. I don't call him Diego. I call him Cat. Okay, so here we go. So we got our bird in. And what we want to do with our bird is draw it in. So we don't need this brush. So what we're going to do is we're going to use... I got a small angle brush. And this is... I think this one came from Amazon. It's just a tiny little brush. Little angle brush that I'm... Oh, I hear my husband coming home. So I'm going to wet it. He doesn't agree with me smoking marijuana. Oh, he doesn't like it. He tolerates it because he loves me. But he doesn't like it. Mm-mm. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab a little bit of red. See that? A little bit of red on my brush, on the angle of my brush. What I'm going to do is I am going to trace in my bird. Just trace them in strictly with the red. Strictly with the red, trace them in right over the chalk. Right over the chalk. There we go, his tail too. Do his little tail. A little bit more paint. Do you see him coming? And you know what? We're not perfect. You know why? We're high. All right, a little bit more paint on there. Kind of looks like alien, doesn't he? Yeah, kind of looks like alien. So maybe we'll make his head a little bit smaller. There's his head. Okay, there's his head. All right, so we got our Cardinal in. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to just go right into my yellow, right? Just right into my yellow. Red's still on there. Just going to go right into the yellow. And we're going to put it on his belly. Put it on his belly. Put a little bit right here on the wing. And we're going to do yellow right here in this part. Doesn't matter. Take it up if you want. We're going to put the yellow. You got red in there. Don't matter. Don't matter. Okay, so now we got the, oh, you know what? We might as well put a little bit of yellow in the tail. You know what? Just paint the tail yellow. Just paint the tail yellow. You know what? Finish out your brush. Empty your brush on your bird. Okay, so now we got that in. Now we're going to take some red. Okay, some red with a little tiny, tiny touch of black. Tiny, tiny touch of black. And see, we mix that. A little bit more red in there. And I want to use this for highlighting and shadowing. So his belly is going to be a little bit darker here. And his wing is going to be a little bit darker there. Okay? And the top of his head. Let's make him a little bit darker. Perfect. Oh, and his tail. Come down here to part of his tail. There, I'm going to pause you. Thought I heard the husband. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to dip into the red and we're going to fill him in. Fill in the bird. Color in the rest of the color them in there. What do you think? Oh, here it comes. Hey, I'm back. Okay, so the Cardinal's dried a little bit. He's still a bit wet and tacky. I was only gone for like 4 minutes. Okay, so what I want to do is I still want to add in a little bit of yellow around his face. So, just going to put a little bit of yellow right there, blend it up into the red, which is still wet. Okay, there we go. Oh, gonna rinse. And what we're gonna do is we're going to now put in the beak. The beak, we're going to do a peachy color. So we got red out, but we're gonna still put a little bit of red out, a little bit of yellow. Red and yellow make orange. Add a tiny bit of white, and we got peach. Take a little bit of roll there, and we're going to put that in there. And just paint that in there. That's a really big beak. That's a huge beak. Now what we're going to do is, you can dry that if you want. You don't have to, because we're going to put in the black marks around his face, like the bandit. So what we do is we just put a line right at the top of the beak. And then a line down the side of the beak. And then a little bit there. A little bit there. Bandit. Bam. We got a cardinal. You know what we're going to do now? We're just going to add in the highlights of the eye. And we're just going to use the angle brush because you can use any kind of brush. Just going to put a little dab there on the corner of the brush, and we're just going to make a little eye. Little eye for the cardinal. Bam, there's the eye. All right. We'll just put in a little highlight right here for his beak. A little bit of white in there. There we go. Doesn't really look like a cardinal, does he? Oh, you know what it is? I see what it is. Here we go. Need to make this rounded. There we go. And rinse the brush, rinse the brush, rinse the brush, rinse the brush. Okay. We got a cardinal. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some reds. A little bit of red maybe. A little bit of red. Make a line. I'm just going to swoosh in some feathers, I guess. Put little feathers in there. Swoosh it. Swoosh, 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 swoosh. It's the wing. And some feathers. And some feathers. All right. And now I think we can add some snow. Or you can leave it the way it is. You know what you can do? Leave it the way it is. Give him little feet. It's a great idea. Should we give him feet or should we add snow? Contemplating when you're stoned. Oh. Huh. I think I'm going to give him feet. So, we need a little tiny detail brush. A little tiny detail brush. Be nice if I was prepared. No, that's not one. Tiny detail brush is. No, I don't like that one. Where's my tiny detail brush? There it is. There it is. I like this brush. It's a nice detail brush. It's a little tiny, tiny brush. See how tiny that is? Very, very tiny. Yep. And we're going to give him black feet. So we're just going to dip just the tip of it in there. Dip just the tip. And we're going to go scratch. Oops. Scratch, 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 scratch. And bam, now we have feet. Yep. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to add in some black branches. I'm a little scared because I don't normally do black branches. So we're going to come off that tree. There's a branch. It's not a good branch, but it's a branch. And we're going to come and do another branch there. There we go. And where else can we put a few little branches? So we can take a few. I don't know. I don't think we should add any more anywhere. All right. I think that looks nice. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is this is a wet brush, just a regular wet brush. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and remove the chalk. I'm going to remove the chalk line. There, I think we're done. I think we're done. You want to sign it? You can sign it. If not, you don't need to. Well, it's been fun. So try and think of a name, and I'll think of a next painting. See you later.